Hey everyone! I'd love to hear from you. What tool review would you like me to create an in-depth analysis video on? Drop your suggestions in the comments below, and I will get started on making the most requested one. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, as I upload trending tool insights.
Welcome to the deep dive. So if you're tuned into the creative tech space at all, your feeds are probably just exploding, right? Mind-blowing AI tools popping up like every single day.
Oh yeah, it's a lot.
It's exciting, but honestly, trying to keep up, it feels like a full-time job sometimes.
Totally.
Today, we're trying to cut through some of that noise, really get under the hood of one platform that's been making some serious waves, Krea AI. It promises to let you, whip up these stunning visuals using AI, and it emphasizes something pretty unique, this idea of real-time image and video creation.
That's the key, yeah. So for this deep dive, we've looked at a really detailed, hands-on review of Krea AI itself, lots of testing results, and also some direct comparisons to other, leading AI art platforms out there.
Okay.
Our goal really is to pull out the most important stuff, the nuggets of knowledge, so you can figure out if this AI tool is actually worth the hype for your specific needs for your workflow.
And yeah, when we say serious buzz, we're not exaggerating. Krea AI has already pulled in an incredible $83 million in funding. That includes a huge $47 million Series B round just this year, 2025. Puts its valuation at $500 million.
$500 million.
And get this. After some early demos, over 400,000 people signed up for its waitlist.
400,000. That's massive interest.
Right. So when a platform gets that kind of money, that kind of user anticipation, what does that really signal to you about its potential impact? Maybe beyond just the cool tech. Is that sustainable buzz?
Well, it absolutely signals a major shift, I think. And often it means they've hit on a real pain point for creators, that level of investment, that kind of waitlist. It's not just about having neat tech.
Right.
It's market validation. It suggests Krea is promising to fundamentally change how people create visuals. It points towards them being, not just a flash in the pan, but a serious player with real backing, aiming for that long-term disruption in how we make images and video.
Okay, so let's unpack that then. With all this excitement swirling around it, what exactly is Krea AI, at its core?
Okay.
Our sources define it basically as a powerful creative suite for generating and editing images and videos, all happening in real time.
And that real-time part, you really need to grasp this. It's what's fascinating. It's more than just speed. It's a different way of working.
How so?
Well, unlike most AI art tools where you write a prompt, maybe tweak it, then hit generate and wait.
Yeah, the waiting game.
Exactly. Krea shows you the changes instantly. As you adjust the prompt, or even as you brush over areas on the canvas, the image evolves right there.
Okay.
The source used a really good analogy, actually. Said, think of it like a mix between Figma and Midjourney, but built for speed and full creative control.
Figma and Midjourney combined. Interesting.
Yeah. Imagine you're, say, brainstorming ideas, and every tiny tweak to your description immediately shows you a new visual. It makes iteration incredibly fast.
I can see that.
It turns creating into something much more fluid, almost like a conversation with the AI. And for the tech folks listening, it's built on Stable Diffusion, which is a well-known open source model. Plus, it lets you upload your own custom models for specific styles.
That's brilliant. It really does sound like it could change how you approach creating visuals, especially if you're used to that kind of start, stop, wait workflow.
Exactly.
So it promises this super fast, fluid creative process. That seems like a huge plus, whether you're, a pro designer or someone just starting out with AI art.
Absolutely. And when we dug into the specifics, the top features and how they actually performed, a pretty clear picture came together about its strengths.
Okay, let's hear it.
So first off, that real-time generation we just talked about, it got a perfect 5 out of 5 rating.
Yeah.
Just for speed and responsiveness. It means your creative sessions can be really quick, almost like sketching with AI.
Wow, 5 out of 5. Nice.
Then there's the Canvas editor. That scored a 4 out of 5. Described as, simple, clean interface, lets you design pretty freely with drag and drop tools.
Simple and clean is good, but for someone who's maybe deep in Photoshop all day, is that simple interface intuitive enough when you get into really complex stuff? Or does simple mean limited?
That's a really fair question. From what we gathered, it leans more towards easy to learn and very efficient for what is designed for rapid creation and iteration.
Sure.
It might not replace Photoshop for every single tiny adjustment, no, but for generating concepts quickly, that simplicity is actually a major strength.
Gotcha. What else?
For beginners, the prompt builder also got a 4 out of 5. Helps structure your prompts without needing deep, prompt engineering skills.
Useful.
In painting and masking scored another perfect 5 out of 5. This highlights how accurately you can clean up messy bits or redraw specific parts of an image. Really precise control there.
Okay, that's impressive for fine-tuning.
Yeah. Style transfer was rated 4 out of 5. It lets you apply different artistic styles or even your own custom ones. Worked well, especially with the illustration models, though maybe needs a bit of trial and error sometimes.
Still pretty good.
Multi-model support got a 5 out of 5. That's about the flexibility using standard Stable Diffusion or uploading your own models. Testing showed this worked really smoothly.
Nice. Customization is key.
And for teams, collaborative sharing got a 4 out of 5. Makes it easy to, share your work, get feedback right on the canvas.
Collaboration's important.
And lastly, for the more technical users, there's API access. Now, the review we focused on didn't test this hands-on, but it's widely noted as popular with developers for automating image tasks. So that also got a 4 out of 5.
Okay, so that signals potential beyond just the individual artist using the interface.
Exactly. It could be the engine behind other apps or workflows.
Those perfect scores for speed and the in-painting definitely stand out. It really feels like the whole design is focused on getting you from an idea to a visual result fast, right? Minimizing that friction.
That's exactly the takeaway. Minimize friction, maximize speed, and creative flow.
So, okay, we've heard about the features, the ratings, but what happened during the actual hands-on testing, when the rubber meets the road? Where did Krea AI really deliver, and maybe where did it stumble a bit?
Great question. Yeah, the hands-on tests showed some definite highlights. For text-to-video, they used a specific prompt. A chubby cartoon cat wearing a superhero cape runs through a colorful city made of candy.
Huh! I love that prompt.
Right. Sounds fun. And the output was described as smooth animation, really bright visuals, fun transitions. It matched the prompt almost perfectly. Got an 8.5 out of 10 rating.
8.5 is solid for AI video from text.
Yeah, over 90% accuracy to the prompt. Very few weird artifacts. It really captured that kind of playful, candy-colored vibe they asked for.
Nice. And what about standard images?
For text-to-image, prompts like a futuristic skyline at sunset apparently generated really detailed, high-resolution pictures. The visual fidelity was rated around 95%, matching the prompt's intent.
95% fidelity is very high, so clear wins there.
Definite wins, yeah.
But, as we always find in these deep dives, no tool is perfect, right? Even the really impressive ones usually have an area or two where they're maybe not quite there yet. So where did Krea AI get put to the test and maybe come up a little short?
Right, that's important context. While it did great in those areas, the testing showed that text-to-3D image generation was, well, unfortunately, it didn't really meet expectations.
Oh, how so?
The outputs just lacked that dimensional depth,
Yeah.
And the surface realism wasn't quite there. The depth rendering felt kind of flat.
Flat 3D. Not ideal.
No. And the correspondence to the actual input prompts was sometimes less than 50%. It's really hard to use those outputs for any kind of serious 3D work, like game assets or professional renders.
Ouch. Less than 50% accuracy is rough for 3D.
It really is. Kind of makes you wonder, if every AI tool has to go through these growing pains with the really cutting-edge features before they mature.
True. It's a reminder that this tech is still evolving fast. Any other areas?
Yeah, another feature that performed poorly was the lip-syncing feature. Apparently, there was a pretty significant lag, 1.8 seconds, between the audio track and the mouth movements on the generated video.
Whoa, 1.8 seconds. That's very noticeable.
Extremely noticeable. I mean, even a half-second delay feels off in dialogue, right?
Yeah.
So 1.8 seconds makes the video feel really unnatural.
Definitely. So that's a major drawback if you were hoping to use it for, say, talking head videos or animation with dialogue.
For sure.
Does this suggest Krea AI, at least right now, is maybe better suited for quick concepts rather than final, polished assets? Or is it just that 3D and lip sync are tough nuts for AI to crack generally?
I think for 3D, it definitely points more towards using it for like rapid conceptualization, mood boards, that kind of thing, rather than production-ready stuff.
Okay.
As for lip syncing, yeah, it's a known challenge across the board for AI, but a 1.8-second lag is quite high. It suggests that specific feature within Krea AI is still very much in its early stages. Needs more work.
Okay, that makes sense. So considering these strengths, the real-time editing, the great 2D image results, and also these clear limitations in 3D and lip sync, who is Krea AI really best for? Like, who's going to get the most value out of this tool right now?
Yeah, the sources break this down really nicely by use case, which helps a lot. So for content creators and influencers, especially if you need to pump out social media graphics quickly, that real-time generation and the canvas editor are pretty much perfect.
Makes sense. Speed is key there.
Exactly. For marketers and ad agencies, they can use the style transfer and that really good in-painting feature to create ad creatives super fast.
Quick iterations for ads, yeah.
E-commerce sellers and designers. The canvas editor and the drag-and-drop interface are apparently great for making quick product mockups.
Okay. Useful for visualization.
And then for YouTubers and video editors, creating eye-catching video thumbnails seems like a prime use case. It can be done really fast.
Thumbnails are huge for clicks. How does that work?
The source actually gives a pretty detailed example. You'd basically choose image generation, then you describe your scene, characters, action, whatever, like a cartoon-style YouTube thumbnail of a chubby cat and playful dog chasing each other in a sunny park. Bright colors, expressive faces, motion lines.
Okay, specific.
Right. Then you pick a style, set your aspect ratio, probably 16.9 for YouTube hit generate, and then you can refine it right there on the canvas.
Nice.
And a key tip mentioned was to really lean into bold colors, big expressions, and clean backgrounds. Stuff that grabs attention when it's small on the screen.
Good practical advice. Who else?
Let's see. Game devs and animators, Krea's text-to-3D image feature and the multi-model support are listed as being suitable for creating 3D asset concepts.
Ah, concepts. So back to that idea of early stage design, despite the limitations we talked about.
Exactly. It's listed as a use case, acknowledging it's probably best for ideation right now, not final models.
Got it.
Design teams and startups can definitely benefit from the collaborative sharing features and the canvas editor to work together on projects more smoothly.
Makes sense for teamwork.
And finally, developers and tech teams. They can leverage that API access and the custom model integration to automate visual tasks. which could be a huge time saver for bigger operations.
So a pretty wide range of potential users just with different features appealing to each.
Precisely.
Okay, so to kind of wrap up this section and give people a balanced perspective,
Yeah.
what are the main pros and cons they should keep in mind beyond just the specific feature scores?
Okay, yeah. Big picture. On the pro side, definitely that real-time image generation. It's fast, boosts creativity. The canvas editor is easy to pick up, uses drag and drop. The painting and masking are very precise for edits.
Right, the highlights.
Supporting custom models is a big plus for unique styles. Rendering is fast with those live prompt updates. It seems genuinely helpful for both newcomers and more experienced users. And the collaboration stuff is solid for teams.
Sounds good. And the downsides, the cons.
All right, cons. You should know there isn't really a proper mobile version, or it's very limited. So you're pretty much tied to a desktop.
Okay, good to know.
It definitely needs a strong, stable internet connection for that real-time aspect to work smoothly.
Makes sense.
While it's easy to start, mastering some of the more advanced features does have a bit of a learning curve, like any powerful tool.
Fair enough.
Compared to something like Photoshop, it has fewer advanced editing tools. It's not trying to be a full replacement for that kind of software.
Different purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And finally, if your main goal is achieving like ultra photorealistic images, Krea AI might not be the absolute top choice right now compared to some others focused purely on that.
Okay, that's a really clear summary of the trade-offs. Now, for anyone listening who's thinking, okay, I want to try this, the good news seems to be that getting started is actually pretty easy.
Yeah, very straightforward.
You don't need design skills, no coding needed. The source laid out like 7 simple steps. Just sign up for free, choose a starting point, like image or video, write your prompt, edit right there on the canvas, use in-painting or masking if you need to tweak things, maybe try different styles or models, and then just download or share it.
Yep, sounds about right. Pretty low barrier to entry to just jump in and play.
And what about paying for it, if you want to go beyond the free version?
Right, pricing. They have flexible plans. There's a free plan, obviously with limitations. Then you've got a basic plan around $10 a month, a pro plan for about $35 a month, and a max plan for $60 a month.
Okay. What's the main difference between those paid tiers?
It mainly comes down to how many Flux images you get. Those are often the super fast, maybe lower res iterations for brainstorming, and how many real-time images, which are typically the more refined, higher res outputs.
Ah, quantity limits?
Yeah, and also access to a commercial license. You usually need one of the paid plans to use the images for business purposes.
Got it. Super helpful for budgeting and deciding what level you might need. Okay, let's zoom out for a second. This whole AI image and video space is getting really crowded, right?
Oh yeah, fast.
So how does Krea AI actually stack up against some of the other big names out there? Where does it fit in the bigger picture?
Okay, so based on the sources we looked at, the verdict is pretty clear. If your top priority is that real-time speed and the ability to edit live on the canvas, Krea AI is probably the one to go for. It offers a unique balance of speed, usability, and control.
Okay, the real-time niche.
Exactly. Now, if you're chasing the absolute highest end, most artistic quality, Midjourney is still often seen as the leader there.
Right, known for its aesthetics.
If you want AI tools baked right into your social media apps, then Meta AI's Imagine is designed for that integration.
Convenient if you live on those platforms.
For just quick fixes like removing backgrounds or upscaling images you already have, Clip Drop is apparently very effective.
Utility focused.
And if you need deep customization, like training your own models or having super flexible output options, then GetMG.ai is worth a look.
So different tools for different jobs, basically.
Pretty much. Krea has carved out its niche with that real-time workflow.
And it's a niche within a market that's just exploding. I saw a stat. The AI image generator market is estimated to go from about $8.7 billion this year, 2024, to nearly $61 billion by 2030.
Wow, $61 billion.
Yeah, that's a compound annual growth rate of over 38%. It's staggering growth. And Krea AI is definitely a significant part of that wave. Apparently, it serves around 750,000 weekly active users already.
750,000 a week. That's huge.
And supported by like over 1,000 GPUs running in the background. So it's not some small experiment. It's a major operation.
Clearly, it underscores that this real-time approach is resonating with a lot of people.
Definitely.
So, wrapping things up from this deep dive, Krea AI's core strengths really are those unique real-time capabilities, the intuitive design, and how easy it is to export your work. Now, sure, it might have limited third-party integrations right now, and yeah, some features like the 3D and lip sync are still, let's say, maturing.
Right.
But overall, it's undeniably a really valuable, potentially transformative tool to add to a creator's arsenal.
So whether you're a designer, an animator, maybe a marketer, a content creator, Krea AI definitely offers a powerful set of tools that are worth exploring, worth experimenting with. It could really change up your creative process.
Absolutely. And maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. As these AI models just keep getting better and integration into our workflows becomes smoother, how might these real-time visual creation tools like Krea AI fundamentally change the whole game? Pushing the boundaries of what we think is possible and maybe drastically shortening that gap between just having an idea and actually bringing it to life for potentially everyone. It's something to think about, isn't it?